Hello, welcome back to my channel. YouTubers, this is Blake at Team B Marie. I'm going to do a video today on a simpler, more sustainable changes I've made. And it's going to touch on the crisis we find ourselves in with the coronavirus. I'd like to speak to the fact that as we've entered this crisis, I've found myself in a much more simpler place regarding my lifestyle than I have been in the past. So let's get right into it. Please, but first, I guess I should say, please subscribe to this video, to this channel, and give it a thumbs up and hit the notification button. Okay, as you all are experiencing, and everybody in this world almost on the globe and the planet Earth are experiencing the coronavirus crisis, as the death toll has reached a rather high number for a global pandemic. It's about, I don't even know what it is, but in the United States, we have, I think, over almost 4,000 cases now. Excuse me. So it's definitely parts of the world, like Italy, is very adversely affected. But anyway, the ways that my life has simplified is shown to me in a positive light, in the light of this virus. I'd like to go right ahead and go into that. For instance, with my sustainability and the simpler lifestyle that I have, I did not have to worry about running out of paper towels, because I am currently using cloths for my paper towels, and only use paper towels pretty much for when there's an animal accident, such as we have here with 3 dogs. We have 3 adopted dogs or rehomed dogs that we have in our family. So you would think that that maybe wouldn't be something you would worry about in a crisis, is running out of something. But as we saw with toilet paper, we definitely ran out of toilet paper in many parts of our country. And I didn't have to worry about that at all with paper towels. I was comfortable with just using a sustainable lifestyle of cloths that I've used from old clothing and old towels that were no longer desirable to be used as people towels. And so that made me feel good to see that I had a sustainable lifestyle that can go on for quite some time without buying more paper towels. Another thing that I felt was sustainable and simpler for me is that I didn't have to buy bottled water. And the reason for that is that I have 3 pitchers here in my house, 3 big pitchers. And one of them is a Brita pitcher with a Brita filter. And I was able to fill up the pitchers and refill the water into the tank, and then just fill the pitchers. So I didn't have to, I have 3 big pitchers full of water, filtered water in my refrigerator, and I don't need to worry about buying bottled water, because that'll last us for a while. I also, along the same lines as that, with things that I can use less than drinkable water for humans, I have gray water that I retrieved from putting the plug on my tub and then collecting water while I was finishing up my shower. And I collect water in 3 watering cans, so I have water to water my plants. And if I needed to, if we were having an emergency, I could also give the dogs water from that, because that's certainly clean enough for the dogs. They drink, in the wild, they would drink out of all kinds of puddles. So I feel good that I didn't have to buy bottled water or big bottles of water, any kind of bottled water. And still I have access to the water that I would need in an emergency of a couple days duration. And also another thing I didn't have to worry about running out of, and I keep a sustainable supply on hand that costs me very, very little. I imagine that with this new formula I'm using, that doesn't use powder or grated soap, but uses Castile soap. I imagine that I have the supplies to last I bet you, a good year for this soap, this laundry soap. And it is a cost of maybe $15 or $20 for a year's supply. But anyway, I use a do-it-yourself laundry detergent that combines baking soda, washing soda, and Castile soap. And I use a dryer rack, which is also a lack of need for a resource coming outside of, the household, or out, a natural resource on the land or the earth. And so I just use a dryer rack and dry half the laundry, at least, because my husband doesn't want a dryer rack, but I like a dryer rack. So I don't have to worry about buying laundry soap. I have enough to last me for quite some time. So those are some simpler, more sustainable ways of my lifestyle right now. The other thing that was not necessarily anything that uses less resources per se, except to say that, they tell you to stockpile medications. Fortunately, I have been able to I take 5 medications for a variety of conditions. You may have seen my video on YouTube about chronic health condition and insurance. Well, I access insurance for medications, and of course, sometimes they only allow 90-day supplies. Well, the way my doctor has written the prescriptions and the way that they've come to me, I've been able to get extras of the medication so that I can have them on hand in an emergency, just to have a stockpile, so you don't have to worry about, any emergency kind of disrupting the supply of your medication. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some ideas out of that. I know that it makes me feel good that my lifestyle is a lot more sustainable and a lot more a lot simpler than it had been. And I hope you're all staying well and maintaining calm as much as possible. I know it's hard to think about that when you might think about the loss of income or all the things that can happen in the way things are unfolding in our country. Thank you for listening.